Okay, so Gap. Yes, Gap, the Gap. They just partnered with Sandy Liang, and I feel like this was a pretty great idea for them, and I want to talk about it. So if you missed it, Gap dropped a collection with Sandy Liang on October 10th. And before you're like, who's Sandy Liang? Honey. She is like the New York designer that fashion people are obsessed with. Denim jackets with bows that have this very signature, like playful energy. I'm feeling very whimsical right now. Prices, they say, are from like $15 to $268, which is pretty wild because normally Sandy Lang will cost you a good penny, maybe a kidney. People are already saying that like this is going to sell out immediately, which it probably will, honestly. And so I kind of want to just break down why this partnership actually makes sense and why Gap was smart to go ahead and partner with Sandy Liang. Okay, so at first glance, it's really just Gap and this like cool New York designer, right? It seems random, or so we thought. Gap's been around for many, many moons. We've known Gap since what, 1960s, 70s, 80s. Gap was known as this like pinnacle of fashion. The khakis, the hoodies, the denim. It was so aspirational back then. Now let's talk about what each brand actually needed from this, because they both benefit from this partnership. Gap has been trying to be relevant again for years. And no shade to Gap, nothing wrong with it. However, they've had some missteps, they've had some moments, but they're not the cultural force that they once were. The Gen Zers, the millennials, they're not really purchasing Gap like the older generations once were, right? So they definitely need somebody who connects with the Gen Zs, somebody that the Gen Zs already trust, somebody who can essentially co-sign for them. Enter Sandy Liang. She gets to reach way beyond her usual customers. So somebody who would never spend $400 on a Sandy Liang cardigan might spend $50 on this Gap collab. They might fall in love with her aesthetic and then possibly become a future customer of her main line. It's a pipeline, right? You see the steps. Plus, now, and this is definitely key, it doesn't feel like she sold out because Gap, as mentioned, is literally a part of her fashion origin storyline. Authenticity is absolutely there. Now, what's the strategy behind all of this? So first, it's the price point. The $15 to $268 means that there's literally something for everyone. Even if you are, say, like a broke college student or a broke university student, you can still participate in this moment with like a $15 piece. You want something special, there are $200 plus items out there. More people can buy in, more people are talking about it, and more people are posting it. That's the point. Now, second, it's limited. This isn't going to turn into like a regular store forever. It's a moment, it's special, and that creates this urgency. If you don't get it now, you might have missed out, and suddenly you have that FOMO kick in, right? It's this powerful marketing tool that a lot of brand strategists like to kind of throw in there. Now, third, they made a whole short film about it. It's called Sandy's Dream Closet. Ah, I love it. It's basically Sandy's childhood memories of Gap brought to life. So I would say that's storytelling. Honestly, they're not just selling us clothes, they're selling this emotional narrative about this idea of it coming full circle between the two collaborations. Here's what I really want you to notice. You can absolutely see Sandy in this collection. The bows, as mentioned, the playful details, the way that she styles things. It's not just Gap clothes with her name on it. You actually see that she designed this. You can always tell the difference between when a collaboration is real and when it's not so real, or when like a celebrity just kind of slaps their name on an existing product, which they need to stop doing because you're playing in people's faces. This feels real. Here's what I think is interesting that I'm not seeing too many people talking about. This partnership works because it's tapping into something deeper than just clothes. It feels like this reclaiming, like Gap used to be the brand, as mentioned. Then they became the kind of irrelevant, kind of forgotten kind of brand. Now they're being reintroduced to a whole new generation through someone that generation already loves and trusts. That is smart. There's something nostalgic, but like not dated about all of this. Sandy's not trying to recreate 1999 Gap. She's taking what was good about that era and making it feel very 2025. That's the balance here. Respecting the heritage without it feeling stuck. Will this actually work? I believe that it's already working. The buzz is there, fashion people are excited, regular people are curious, and it's going to sell out. Really and truly, I've kind of been fanning about all of this really smart collaboration, but the most important thing is this does what good partnerships are supposed to be doing, right? It benefits both parties. So Gap gets to feel cool and relevant again. No shade to Gap, honestly. And Sandy gets to reach new customers who honestly probably would not have known about her prior to this collaboration. It feels like a win-win for both parties. Sandy generally loved Gap as a kid, and that authenticity absolutely shines through. You can see it, and that's not something that can be faked. Number two, accessibility. This creates volume. When you have a price point from $15 to $268, you're not gatekeeping. More people can participate, and that creates more momentum. And number three, I think it's important for a lot of brands to understand the importance of allowing the collaborator's signature, style, tone, uniqueness actually show up. Don't try to water this down. And a lot of companies do this when they start working with influencers, tastemakers, UGC, all of the above, content creators. They try to form them into their own vision. Allow them to be them. Sandy's bows and playful aesthetic are all over this, and that's why this works. I think what this collaboration is telling us that heritage brands, they're definitely not dead. They just need the right partner to help them feel fresh again. Gap found that with Sandy Liang. I might try to get one or two of those bow denim jackets. They seem pretty cute. Anyways, that is it. If you would like more breakdowns of partnerships while they're actually happening, definitely subscribe to my channel. I'm Aisa, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.